Hey everybody, how's it going today? This is Exonerated and I'm back rocking the fro. Oh yeah. Man, I've been busy and I wanted to show you guys what's been going on. The farm here has been working outstanding. You can see I've got tons of steak, tons of ender pearls, got some leather. Went through and sealed up this walkway here. The pipes and everything just run down the back of it. I have relocated all of the tank over to this side for the mob essence. And I've kind of expanded this liquid XP. There we go. The liquid XP kind of catcher. In case this tank backs up. I drained some barrels out. I've been doing a lot. So the first thing I've got set up over here was in kind of coordination with the mob farm and the XP essence farm over here. I wanted to set up a way to do some enchanting. So this is what we've got going on. And the first thing I want to do while I have you guys here on camera, I need to make some reading glasses from Bibliocraft. Do I have any supplies? Nope. Let's go do that. I want to be able to share some of the really cool things that we found out. And it's going to be one of those days. Well, that's alright. I don't necessarily need it right now. So, what I've got going on over here is I just have a simple hopper. If you look, I ran power line here underneath. So I've got a simple harvester going on over here with a block. This is just for aesthetics to cover the water. Now I've got some sugar cane, and I'm harvesting sugar cane as it crops up. It's not a big farm, and that's okay. Then over here, I wanted to be able to take advantage of the mass storage of this mob essence. So what I did was I ran underneath. Where's the pipe? I'm not showing the pipe. But it's coming over here. I know it is because this is getting essence. Did I? Oh, I have my view changed. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay. That's what I was looking for, those essence lines right there. So basically, I've got mob essence coming this way and going down this line. And it's feeding into an auto enchanter. This auto enchanter is set up to level 30. And then what I'm doing is I'm using leather from my cow farm, sugar cane from my reed farm here, and I'm making tons of books. Put the books in here, it automatically feeds them. They get enchanted with level 30, and then out the bottom, which you can't really see, but there's another item duct that pulls it out. Puts the book over here in a file cabinet. Excuse me. Then right here, I have an auto enchant or disenchanter. This machine is set up so that, let's say I go to enchant gear. I was putting in like gold pickaxes for a while there at level 26. So I could try to get silk touched, and I would put it in the auto disenchanter, put a book in here, and it would rip the enchant off of the item and put it onto the book. And then lastly, I have an auto anvil, so I can add books to my items. What I decided to do after I set up the disenchanter and kind of struggled for a while getting enchants, that's when I hooked up this chest here for books. And I set up a filing cabinet. Now, a filing cabinet stores only one item. Excuse me. The one item being the whatever item you're using. So, for instance, if I wanted to store energy conduit in here, I could only store this enhanced energy conduit. Oops, turn that off. Let's see if we can pull up books. We can pull up books. Okay, so basically what you have is the filing cabinet will store only one item. So if I wanted to put iron ingots in there, for instance, it would not also take 10 ingots. if you look at the second part of the number there, it says iron ingot, #0265 in parentheses. Then it has 265 on the outside. That's kind of like an item number per se. So that means there's only one iron ingot. If you go over here to 10 ingot though, at the end of it you see 4276 and then the colon and then the 1. Now what that colon signifies is that's item 4276, but this is one version of that item. In other words, there could be other versions of that item. So let's pull up 10 ingot. And you notice we have a couple of 10 ingots here. We have this one from forestry that has a different item number. So let's look at these. So you've got 10 ingot. It looks like it's got column 1 at the end of it. And it's not going to do the way I think it should. Alright. Maybe that was a bad example. Let's try lead. Ingot. Alright. Well, here I'll just show you the books. We'll do it this way. So if you look at all the books, they all have the same item number. 403. Okay? What's different about each of these books that signifies that it has an enchant on it, I believe is, I'm going to be blasted here, but I believe it's NBT. So basically, there's the item for an enchanted book is item number 403, but then there's like this underlying code that stipulates that this is an Aqua Affinity 1 book. This is a Bane of Arthropods 4 book. And each book, even though it's the same item, has that little bit of data underneath of it that signifies what kind of book it is. So with a filing cabinet, you can throw all kinds of enchanted books in there. And it'll be just fine. Like, it'll store them all. And it even stacks them. Like, look at all these Unbreaking 3 books. So, like, a filing cabinet works out really good if you're just looking for a place to store, say, your enchanted books, like I am. And you can see I've got tons of enchanted books. So what I was doing was I set up my books to come down and feed into the auto enchanter. It was at level 30. It would enchant the book and then feed it down, throw it in the filing cabinet. And then, you know, some of the more popular enchants like Silk Touch here. If I wanted to make copies, I would use this setup over here. Now this is a Bibliocraft printing press. And this is a Bibliocraft typesetting table. And let's say, for instance, I've got this Thorns 2 book. Let's say I wanted to make a copy of it. The first thing I would do is stick the book down on the typesetting table. Now, if I had my reading glasses on, you could see right here in this weird spot, there would be something telling me that it would cost me so many levels to make this book into a plate. You can see I've got these printing press chases, which are real easy to make. I'll show you here. Excuse me. They're just slabs around an iron ingot. What you do is you right click on the back here and you store them there. You come up and with a little application of a redstone signal, it turns your book into this right here, a printing press plate. So we get our printing press plate and we come over here to our printing press. Let me get that back. Give me that ink back. Give it to me. There we go. So on the back of the printing press here is this plate, and you see it's gray now. You need ink for your printing press, so you would put your die right on the back, and I've got 37 die now that I just put on there. And then you take the enchanted plate that you got from your typesetting table and you put it like that apparently. There we go. Put it down there. And so now what happens is this machine is set up to make copies of that book. All you got to do is put a blank book up here. So you put a blank book up here, and you can actually do a couple, and it'll run copies for you. The thing is this enchanted plate only has 3 uses. But when you take a book and you turn it into an enchanted plate, it actually destroys the book. So, in other words, oh, that's cool. I've never seen that. If I take this Thorns 2 book and I'm like, man, I need copies of this book, and I put this book down, I can make a plate, and I basically turn one copy into 3. Well, let's say I need more. I've got to take one of those 3 and turn it again. So for every book that you make, you get a net gain of 2 more books. Excuse me, sorry, I'm combating a bit of a cold here. So basically what this system does is it takes levels to flip the book into a printing press plate. And it just takes ink and more books to make books out of it. In fact, I'm going to make some Unbreaking 3 books because I can. Well, I can make 1 more. So let's grab some leather. Let's dump off some cabling. There we go. Alright. We got our little printing press here. We got our book. Okay. So we're going to put our plate in there. We're going to put our book in there. You can see immediately it starts working to make a copy. Now this is the 3rd copy of this printing press plate that I've made. So when it's done, it's done. That printing, you see that printing press plate is gone. Now I've got an Unbreaking 3 book, which I can toss right in, and now I have 12 of them. If I wanted to make more, again, I would just take this Unbreaking book, plop it down, get a plate, and so on and so forth. It uses 1 ink, usually, I believe. Let's get that. Yep, it uses 1 ink to make a book. So I just put a stack of books in there, and I've been going to it. Excuse me. Forgive me. The thing about this, though, is when you convert a book over to a plate, you actually need levels to do so. And I was kind of at a weird spot because I've got my sewer right here. So what I ended up doing just temporarily was knocking a hole in here, using the water can, and then just siphoning up all of the berries to get the levels I needed. It's a lot easier when my Mob Essence tank was already full, though, because then I could just right-click this at Liquid XP tank, and every time I did, I would get a level. So, anyway, that's what I've been up to with this. I know it was a little confusing. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be. I was trying to kind of explain the premise behind how you could stack multiple books. But anyway, so that's what I did. Now, that was great. We went through, both Tyrant and I, farmed a couple of stacks of books. We got some diamond. We got some gears together. And, yeah, Tyrant even started working on some other islands. We've got a Podsole island over here. We got a sand island over here. And he's finished his little temple, which I'm getting some frame rate lag, sorry. He's finished his little temple over here, which I like it a lot. Especially with the black glass on the carpenter's blocks. It looks great. At any rate, we were playing around. And, yeah, we're not in Thaumcraft yet. We haven't messed with Thaumcraft. But there was this big hole over here, and I had a brain fart, and I said to myself, see, I'm stuck now. I said to myself, what is this big hole doing over here? I wonder what it could be, as it slowly pulls me. Slowly pulls me in. And it's a hungry node. Yep, hungry node. So we've got a Thaumcraft hungry node that, by the way, it took me forever to block in. And this is what I have to do to kind of get myself out. But basically, what ends up happening is I end up playing around for a little while to get away from it. I did manage to box it in with some obsidian and cover it. So the good news is that we'll be able to pull it and put it in a jar. The bad news is that it only took about 35 deaths for us to do so. I'm not kidding when I say that this waypoint system was just crazy covered in deaths. Not by me, also by Tyrant. We both died repeatedly trying to box this in. And don't ask me why I came over here without thinking about having a, what's it called? A glider. That's what I should have done, is brought an OpenBlocks glider with me. Because with that, you can get away from this. You can just put your glider on and actually glide away. It's not easy, but it does work. So anyway, I'm gonna get my moronic self out of this position, and at any rate, we're going to look into maybe starting some Thaumcraft today if we have enough time, because I want to be able to take advantage of this node here and some of the other nodes around. So I'll be back in a bit. Hello everybody, I am back, and with a little help from Tyrant, who logged on and tossed me a hang glider, I was able to escape that hungry node. That was obviously too close for comfort, and so what I want to do is start working on a way to not have to worry about that. So the first thing we need to do when talking about Thaumcraft is kind of discuss some of the, I guess what's the word? Let's just discuss the mod. So Thaumcraft, I think I have a book over here. Yep. Thaumcraft is kind of a magic-based mod that focuses around energy and elements. So basically, you know, everything in the world is made of elements to a certain degree, a certain amount of elements. Even these machines here are made of elements. The rock, the glass, the mob essence, everything. Excuse me. And what Thaumcraft does is it applies those kind of elemental energies together to form magical things. So what you can do is, the first thing you want to get started with Thaumcraft is, you want to start off with a wand. You need a wand. And let me go ahead and turn into human form here. So, I got some iron on me. The first thing we want is a wand. Forgive me. And if we look up wands, we have all kinds of options. But the easiest one to get is going to be your standard regular wand with a stick here. And in order to do that, you need a stick and some wand caps. Now, iron caps are by far the easiest one to get. You can see they're just iron nuggets. So what we can do to make that is we can go through and just break apart some iron ingots here and then put them around in a little shape of a helmet, and bam, we got 2 iron caps. We take those iron caps and we put them together with a stick. We now have an iron-capped wooden wand. What this does is this gives us the ability to kind of access some elements of magic within the world. It also gives us the ability to interact with Thaumcraft items. Let me clean some of my inventory out. Good gracious. Get rid of that. Don't need any blocks. Oh, the chisel thing. We'll put the chisel away. We'll put the Yetta wrench away. I'll keep the pick for now, and the glider. Lord only knows if I'll need it again. Alright. Gas tiers. And plastic sheets. I definitely have no need of those right now. Oh, let's put these away. Ooh, and the ender. I forgot I had that. Alright. So, we got our magic wand, and what we would need to do now, in order to get this Thaumcraft, excuse me, you would craft a bookcase, just your standard vanilla Minecraft bookcase, and you would put it down on the ground, and when you right-click it with the wand, it would give you the Thaumcraft. Now, the Thaumcraft is the book that kind of guides you through your research for Thaumcraft. So if we look at it, it's got several tabs. Well, I don't even know what that one is. I've never seen it. It's got several tabs, and you can move around on this little kind of map here, discovering different things. And what you want to do is kind of research points. Like you can see here, auras and nodes. If you click through it, it tells you all about auras and nodes. So what we would want to do is kind of expand further and start learning some of this other stuff. And then there's different types of different sections for Thaumcraft. This one's basic information. Thaumaturgy, which just goes into wands, wand caps, some of the magic cloth. This is alchemy. This is where you actually make like your alchemical furnaces and some of your other stuff. This here is artifice. So this is where you learn to make your tables, some of your gear, some of your weapons, I think, are in here. Golemancy is just a play of golems, having little workers run around, do everything for you. Yes, that word. Not sure. I think this is an added mod from Thaumic Tinkerers. I'm not sure. Speaking of Thaumic Tinkering, this is a separate mod added that has that has extra items in it for Thaumcraft. Apomancy, which is dealing with bees. I think there's trees in here, not sure. And then Thaumic Esoterica, which has other things like baubles and other stuff. So, forgive me, I apologize. I'm just recovering from the flu. It's part of my reason why I've been down so much off of recording. But anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and get some wood, because that's going to be the first big thing we need to do. One of the things that Quarian has done is give us a good amount of these shards here. And these shards are actually Thaumcraft shards. They're used to make items and kind of draw magic and everything else. And so we've gotten, a couple of stacks of each already lined up. Let's see, I got a stack and a half of that, stack and a half of those. Excuse me, 3.5 stacks of that. I think that's the one I'm going to use. Almost 3. Well, we got almost 4 of that. Let me put this green back. I'll use the red. Well, actually, I guess I need them both. Give me that back. Alright. So the first thing we want with Thaumcraft is our thermometer. And it's just some glass, gold ingots, and any 2 shards. So let's see. Do I have any gold in here? Really? No gold? No gold at all? Wow. Alright, well, let me pulverize some gold. And we'll go get some glass. Almost walked off the edge there. That's the only thing about being up on these floating platforms. Quite clear glass. I think I can use this. This turns into regular glass. I'm actually going to need a total of 3 of these. I'll show you why in a minute. So we got our gold all pulverized. Let's go ahead and cook it up at the speed of sound. And I just need enough to get 6 pieces. There we go. And now I'm just going to put some shards on either side. And bam, we got thermometers. And I've got 3 of them. And so basically the thermometer allows you to see what you wouldn't be able to see with the naked eye. And alright, here we are in bat form. And we're floating down. And now, we see this node over here. Excuse me. And all of a sudden, if we look in the middle of that box, we see a glow. And that glow is the hungry node that I pointed out to you. Now, you wouldn't notice this node otherwise. You would notice the hole, but you wouldn't know what was there if you didn't have a thermometer. And so this allows us to see things. It also allows us to do some research of sorts. So remember how I was talking about everything is made of elements? If we start out, say for instance, we go over here to the water, and we scan some water. We notice we see water, and some little symbols fly to the corner, and in the bottom, we gained 4 research points for aqua. So what we've done now is we've discovered, so to speak, the element of water. And let's see, there's some other elements too. But basically, we just have to go through and do some research and discover elements around our world. Now, if you look in your Thaumanomicon, Thaumaturgy, right? Nope. I think it's Thaumaturgy. Nope, it's Artifice. Where is the one? It's got to be basic information. Here we go. Excuse me. With magic, you got primal aspects, and those are air, earth, water, fire, order, and entropy or death. So, you know, basically light and dark, order and chaos. They're called Ordo and Perditio, and here fire's called Ignis, water's called Aqua. So basically, you would take those 6 aspects and combine them into new aspects. And as we gain points in new aspects, they'll show up in our book here. So we have to find a way to research those aspects. And the best way to do that is to go through... Oh, here's our table. We're going to make some tables in Thaumcraft. We just need some slabs and some planks. So I'm going to go down here and make some real quick. And I'm going to need a bunch of these, so I'm going to go ahead and make them right now. That's 8. That should be good. And then we just blat out. We got our table. Now, we're going to put our table down. We're going to put another table down. And then what we want is we want to be able to write on this. And you see right here, we've got scribing tools. It's a glass bottle, a feather, and some black ink. So let's see what we got for that. Other than choppy graphics. We got our feather right there. We got our ink right there. And of course, I can take some of this clear glass and turn it into regular glass, which I'll do. And we'll make a bottle. So we put our bottle with our feather and our ink sac. And bam, we got our scribing tools. Now, in order to be able to kind of see what's going on, we want to turn these 2 tables into a table. Thaumcraft calls it a research table. So you put down 2 tables like this, and you right-click on either one of them with your scribing tools, and it sets up your research table here. So if we right-click, we can see all of the elements that we've researched and how many points we have in each element. So now what we want to do is we want to get some paper, which I'm going to take most of this and turn it into paper. Whoops. There we go. So now what we want to do is we want to kind of do some research. And I need to make a arcane table while I'm at it. Okay, alright. So we're going to take a table. We're going to put it down. We're going to take our wand and right click. Now we have an arcane workbench. And this allows us to take magic from our wand, apply it to items, and craft other items. So that's those 2 tables right there are like the basis for Thaumcraft. I want to say 98% of all of your early game is done specifically with these 2 for Thaumcraft. Later on, we'll actually craft... I don't think I have the access to it yet. Later on, we'll actually craft a table using arcane stones and whatnot. It'll give us the ability to infuse magical essence, basically, into items that we have. But I know you're thinking, man, I don't want to walk around with this silly thermometer in my face like all the time. So what Thaumcraft did is they added the ability for you to have goggles. And if we look, goggles of revealing, excuse me, it's going to make me do it from the book. Here they are right here. You need scribing tools and paper to get this research. So I'm going to take and borrow my ink, go back into my book, Now I left click and I get a research note. I put my ink back in the table and I take my research note, and yeah, I have to discover those elements. Alright then. So I can't get to the point where I can use the goggles yet. Basically, the goggles would replace my helmet, and so I could fly around, and all the time it would be... Oops, I almost jumped off the edge. Basically, I could fly around all the time and see nodes without having to worry about having this thing up in my face. I would automatically see the nodes. This is much easier at night than it is during the day. Let's see here. So basically, now the big thing is, okay, we got to research. So let's research some stone bricks. It says nothing can be learned from this yet. What about a chest? Let's hold shift. Oh, it's got vacuous. And if we check in our book, vacuous is combined with air and perdido, or perdicio. So that's now we've got a new item, and we got 2 points in it. If we come to our research table, there's our 2 points. So let's look at some other stuff. Can't do sugarcane yet. I know there's a couple things that are really big early on. Torches give you fire. That's a combination of air and fire. I'm sorry, not light is the word there. And there's another one that's real good. Seeds. I don't know if these seeds will work. Nope. I need like a grass seed. I bet I got one around here. Yep. Minecraft wheat seed. There we go. Don't understand it yet. Okay. What about a dandelion? Can I do that? Nope. It tries to give you little hints. It says to understand this, you need to study the sources of life. So basically, let's see. I'm going to kind of cheat my way to this. I'm going to use my items here at the table. Now, I know, for instance, that 1 water and 1 earth combined give you life. I know that if you combine life and chaos, you get death. For some reason... Oh, that's order. Never mind. I know if you connect fire and ordo, you get potentia, which is energy. And I believe there's something like 42, 43 different elements that you can learn. Now, you only get a limited number of points in your table here, so you have to be careful how you burn them. The good thing is that once you learn enough of them, you don't actually have to worry, because it's going to give you more just by searching things around you. For instance, I'm going to knock this off, study this dirt, and we get more earth. Of course, the sugarcane gave me a bunch of different items. Let's look at the crafting table here. I get arbor for that. Let's see. What else can we do some research on? We can do research on just regular stone. We don't have that. Let's see. Grab a piece of coal also. Cobblestone gives us perdicio and terra. Coal. We get potentia and we get ignis. It's fire and basically energy. And so now when we look at our Thaumonomicon, we got a bunch of new aspects. And of course, everything we research shows up in our table. And we can continue to build these. So I know that the episode's been a little jumpy. But basically what I'm going to do between this episode and next is I'm going to go through and do some research and just continue to expand the number of aspects that I know, so that we can actually start digging into Thaumcraft a little bit, and we'll see what we can't do about getting a chance to take on that Hungry node. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Also, just as a heads up for those interested, we actually took lease of a new place, and we're going to be relocating, which will give me a private office, which will make recording way easier in the future going forward. So there's been a lot of lapse in regular episode scheduling going on, and that's been the big hurdle, is not having the space to record without having to interrupt the rest of the household. But that disappears completely soon. In fact, within the next month. So I figure 1st of March, training wheels will be off, and we'll be in the new place with a new office, and all bets will be off at that point. We'll be able to actually start recording episodes on a couple of new series, I'm hoping, also doing some collabs and working on the intro and some other things. So just a heads up, that stuff's going to happen in the next month. Until then, I appreciate your patience. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from the Spinalcraft community, as well as family and friends who have watched the channel and kind of seen what's going on. I just, hope to continue to expand and really just enjoy myself. I think when a YouTuber enjoys themselves, that translates better to the players, and I think players enjoy themselves watching the video. I know that some of my favorite channels to watch are ones where the player enjoys what they're doing. Just because they're a member of the Minecraft community doesn't mean that they have to necessarily only play Minecraft. Zisto's a prime example. I love Zisto's videos because he plays whatever he wants. He'll play a little World of Warcraft. He'll play Factorio. He hasn't touched Minecraft in forever. And that's okay, because he's enjoying himself. So that's really what I want to do, is kind of expand out, pick up some other games. I love modded Minecraft, and I want to continue on with it. And then Spinalcraft just updated the server to 1.8, so I'm going to try to get on there with Gold Dragon and some other friends and see what we can do about starting over in a brand new 1.8 world. And yeah, so at any rate, until next time, thank you so much. Sorry about the babbling, kind of disconnected episode, but wanted to give you guys some info on what was going on and kind of show you what I've been up to. So until next time, this is Exonerated signing off. Have a good one.